Hello you traders, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope so everybody is fine. It's me Sulaiman Khan. Today I'm going to discuss gold on the behalf of technically and as well as fundamentally. So first of all, let's discuss the fundamentally that what is happening with the US dollar and what are the possibilities for the gold on the behalf of fundamentally. So as you know that today we have the very much important data. If you will look at the Forex Factory website, you guys can see here that today we have, according to Pakistan time frame, 11 p.m. we have the very important data regarding the FOMC and federal interest rate decision. And there are the consequences, there are the chances that Fed will still though increase the interest rate. But I think so before get into on the behalf of interest rate decision, we should have to know about another important data that were published on yesterday regarding the USD jobs opening. So if you will look at here on the behalf of that thing, that there was a forecast that 9.74 million jobs will be offered, but unfortunately only 9.59 million jobs were offered. So it showed us that there's a huge drop in the on the behalf of US jobs opening. There was a huge drop. So and it layoffs increased to the highest level in more than 2 years. So actually, if the same uncertainties, and as you guys can see, as you guys know about the uncertainties on the behalf of banking crisis, and still though there are a lot of there was a huge drop in the jobs opening, so it can crash the dollar more deeply. And now if you will discuss about the today's data that is coming tonight, that is federal interest rate decision, so there are chances that they will increase the interest rates. So if they will increase the interest rates, actually it is good for the currency. It is good for the currency technically, but this time this would not be good for the currency. Now what's the reason? The reason is that from last 1.5 year, a US central bank, federal FM, they are increasing the interest rates rapidly and slowly from last 1.5 year. So this has a huge effect on the banking system, and due to that thing, a lot of banks are defaulted, and a lot of banks their shares are basically dropped downside. And right now, even the US don't have too much jobs to offer to their citizens, so this will also have that negative impact on the US currency. So if even though today US will try to increase the interest rate, I think so that will be the again boost up the gold, and that gold can still goes upside. Now if you will look at on the behalf of technically that what is happening to the gold. Now let's discuss gold on if you will look at here on the weekly time frame chart just for a while. So if you will look at here on the behalf of technically gold chart, so you guys can see here it's a weekly time frame chart. So on the behalf of weekly time frame chart, there is a slightly gap. There is slightly gap here. As you know that whenever market opens the gap, it tries to close those gaps. So maybe in the near term, that there would be such possibilities. There would be such possibilities because gold will be this gap is not properly closed. So there is a chance that market will try to close this gap that is still open on the weekly time frame chart. So this is the first thing. Now if you look at on the second thing on the weekly time frame chart, so you guys can see here that there was a huge impulse towards the upside. Then market starts, you guys can see higher high and higher low. Again market tries to create a higher high, then the higher low. Then now again market is trying to create the higher high. So it seems like that market will try to break approximately 2050 area. There is a huge possibility on the weekly time frame chart that market will try to break 2050 from that was the last high that was on 10th of April. So there's still the possibility that market will try to break that high and then again market will slightly close, comes downside. So on the behalf of long-term traders who are the long-term traders, I will suggest to them that if market will tries to break 1968 or 1960 area, then only on the behalf of that you guys can look for the sell trade. Otherwise, there is still, though market is trying to create the higher highs and the higher lows, so direction is still though upside on the behalf of weekly time frame chart. Now look, if you will look at on the behalf of a daily time frame chart, so now let's move toward the daily time frame chart. On the weekly time frame chart, I will again conclude market is still though upside, market is creating higher highs, higher lows. So only if market will tries to break 1960 area, so on the behalf of that thing, if market will try to break 1960 area and market will try to give us the closing below the 1960, then only in that condition you guys can look for the sell trade. Otherwise, market is still though in the bullish and upside momentum. Now if you will look at here on the behalf of daily time frame chart, so you guys can see here on the behalf of daily time frame chart, there are some possibilities, and if I will look at here more closely and more sharply, so you guys can see here that on the daily time frame chart, this market is basically, it is trying to create this type of trend line on the daily time frame chart, that market will tries to respect this area again. And even though if you guys can see here that market has just bounced upside and market was just moving in between that zigzag, and then again comes here to the supportive area and again reaches towards that area. Now if again market will try to come, as I mentioned you, that market will again, if market will comes to this area again, there's a chances to bounce upside. But for the better option, I think so we should have to go with the parallel channel. That will give us the more clear information on the behalf of daily time frame chart. So if you will look at here on the behalf of daily time frame chart, so basically this is the exact channel that is formed on the behalf of daily time frame chart. So you guys can see here that we have right now actually approximately crossed the 50% area. So right now we have the chances are that if market will gives us again same the closing below 1970 area, then again we can look for the 1911, as I mentioned you, 1960 area or 1970 area here that is showing. So again right now still though we are on the upper side, as you guys can see here that market has just goes upside and market has just gives us a very huge closing with a very huge candle, and then again market started zigzag movement, and you guys can again see market again comes to the middle of that parallel channel and then again gives us a very huge respective candle yesterday regarding the jobs. So and still though market having the bullish momentum. So right now I'm looking that market will again tries to reach towards the 2094, that is a target on the behalf of daily time frame chart. Now if you will look at here on the behalf of H4 time frame chart, so we will again look at here on the behalf of H4 time frame chart that what are the chances that market either can go upside or either can go downside. So if you will look at here on the behalf of H4 time frame chart, so as I've draw the parallel channel on the behalf of daily time frame chart, so if you will look at here on the behalf of 4-hour time frame chart, so you guys can see here some trend lines. This is the trend line. Market was in the sideways from many time, and it is basically the triangular pattern. So this is how, yeah, so basically market was moving in between. I will try to make it more clear for you guys, so in this way you guys will not be confused. Yeah, so now you guys can see here that basically market was just in between that thing. Market was just running in between that thing, just coming towards the low of that area, then high, then again low, then again touch that area, then again high, then again higher highs, higher lows, and between that market was just in the sideways, and due to that thing there was a huge volatility. Yesterday market has break that area, and now I am looking for the retest, slightly retest, maybe market will give a slightly retest, and then again I am looking that market can go still still though much upside movement. So still though there is a possibility of much upside movement. So if you will look at here on the behalf of H4 time frame chart, if I will draw a Fibonacci retracement level on the high to low impulse, so there is a possibility. I will draw again Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, so now here you guys can see here that there's a possibility that market can go towards 2003 area. As you guys can see here, the huge breakout that market was in between those areas. Then after that, market has give us the proper breakout towards upside. So if market will gives us will comes to this area 2003 area, or again towards the 1993 area, still on behalf of on both on these areas I will try to look for the buy trades. My first target would be, as I mentioned you, 2050, and I can look for the further more high, that our second target would be 2090, as I have mentioned you on the behalf of weekly time frame chart. So this is the gold analysis. I hope so that you guys will try to like it, will share it with your friends, and will give us the more appreciations on the comment box. So stay blessed guys, let's hope for the best and keep remember in your prayers. Thank you.